morning, everybody. Good morning. It's Sunday. A whole Sunday stretches before me down here in my studio. I have a lovely friend coming over a bit later, Jenny, who I met through Instagram. So she's coming over to have a bit of a play date in my studio. So that's really exciting. I'm starting a new project today, something little. I found Janet Nash online. You may already know Jenny. Jenny is an English lady who has a wonderful YouTube channel, all slow stitching and vintage goodies. And she has made this fabulous little slow stitch envelope. And it was one of those things, you know, when you see something and you just have to drop everything and go and make it. So this is what I've started on. I will put a link to her, her video about making this little envelope down below. She has made hers with felt, and I am going to use this little piece of old quilt, which is what I thought of as soon as I saw what she was doing. So basically, very, very easy to start. Cut yourself a square, find the middle. I found the middle by folding and folding and then putting a little dot. And then we're going to really simply just fold the sides in, just deciding which is the best bit of flappy bit to have. Okay, so fold your sides into the middle, like that. Fold your bottom up. So I've just folded it so it's got a little bit of an overlap down here, and pin. So I need some smaller projects. I'm finishing off a really, really big one, and then doing a really big one, well, a fairly big one, with the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 8. And so I'm going to pin this first, then I'm going to sew it together, and look how gorgeous that is. Just like that. Sew this together, and then I will be doing my slow stitching, adding all sorts of embellishments. So I don't need to do anything on the inside, because look how gorgeous is that, all ready to go. I'm going to just sew along the seams now. So I've started with my handy dandy, my new little pin cushion. Look how gorgeous that jug is. I couldn't leave him at Vinnie's, could I? But I don't think I can fit one more jug on my Welsh dresser upstairs, so I've made him into a little pin cushion for needles, so I can always find my needles. So I've threaded a whole heap of different colours that I like, and I'm just going to start by sewing these seams. What a simple little gorgeous project. And obviously it could be bigger depending on the size of your square. But this is the biggest square I could make out of all of my old quilt blocks, so this is the size it is. Awesome. So I'm just going to start in here. There's a fair few layers to get through, and this is slow stitching, so anything goes. So yes, Jenny's new to me. I have only just discovered her. I'm just going to just do really simple stitches to join this together. I will probably just pull them through one at a time, just to make sure they're in the right spot. And without the pulling. So I've got a few hours to myself before everybody starts coming home from their adventures. My son didn't last at his hiking. They ended up coming home last night. They got lost. Ended up, as he said, the little man on the GPS was about 10 k's from where we were supposed to be. So they ended up walking, I think, about 30 k's instead of 10, and couldn't find a campsite that wasn't on a 45-degree angle. So in the words of two 21-year-olds, we decided to go and get Hungry Jacks instead. So they had a big adventure out in the wild. So that was funny. This gorgeous old bit of quilt, I'm not sure where it came from. I think it was a gift. I'm very lucky. I get lots of lovely things given to me. The thread I'm using is just quiet. It's just going to disappear until I kind of think about how I want this to look. Because, you know, I didn't think about it. I just started like you do when you're inspired. So Jenny has a lot of videos up. I only got as far as this one. Down to tools. I went, right, I'm going to go make that. Okay, just making sure I'm keeping the angle right, although I don't mind if it's a bit wonky. that's one side. Now, just deciding, just fix this bit up. As you do when you slow stitch, you often pull things a bit skew with. I'm just deciding whether I might tuck that bit over and stitch it down. Let me just see, how am I going to do this? Just tuck it over like that. There's no wadding at that part of this old quilt. It has come out. So it's a bit floppy. You know how I feel about floppy. Oops. And again, most of my threads are upcycled from the Vinnies or Lifeline or whatever op shop I can grab them. So I've moved off camera. Then I'm back into this guy now. Let's just see if I manage to catch the little foldy over bit. Not quite. I'll go back and stitch that underneath. What a gorgeous quick little project. There's my thread. Is it on top? No. This would be a lovely way to present a gift to somebody. You know, if you had some sort of jewellery gift or something little, you can make a little gorgeous pouch like this, little envelope. You could slow stitch their name on the front. Lots and lots of ideas. Alrighty, there we go. It is the most beautiful day here today in Bundaberg. It's finally, the wind's dropped, and it's our first true spring day, I think. Yesterday was lovely and sunny, but there was still a wind. It made it a bit cold, but today is gorgeous. I think it's going to be about 24, but no humidity. And Bundaberg, the killer here is the humidity. Our temperatures may not seem very high, but add in 100% humidity and that equals misery. I'm not sure how I ended up living in a subtropical climate when I love the cold. Alrighty. Let's try not to sew the corner down. Now I just want to come up right in that corner. There. And I might just do a couple little stitches just to catch this guy and take him around the back, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to bend him around there. You see how he's sticky outy? I like sticky outy, but only if I've planned it. So he's going to go just around the back, like so. Okay, so I'm going to leave my thread there. Look how cute that is. See, this bit here is not behaving. That's supposed to be under like that. I'm just going to put a pin there so that I remember to go back and do that. I'll do that as I go. So there he is so far. Very cute. A bit wonky, but that's all right. So what am I going to do on you? I literally grabbed a heap of scraps, some of my tiny scraps. Let me just give them some sort of sorting here. I mean, it begs for a stamp on the front, but I don't know if I want to use a stamp or like make a stamp out of one of the other little conversation prints. Let's have a look. What do I want to put on? Definitely some red check. So I think I might go through and start on the front. So again, see how I've got that there? I'm actually just going to go through, trying not to stab myself. So I'm back on the inside. Oops, made a big mess with the knot with the thread. There we go. Okay, So my needle is down the bottom on the inside. So what I'm going to do is actually just bring it through so I can see where I am now. There. Done. Okay, so this is the front. This is the bit that's going to fold over. It's going to be wonky, that's good. So I've got all these tiny little bits to use up, so I'm going to just pull a few bits out that I definitely want to add. I thought I'd add this little bit of a pagoda-y doodle. Which one do I want? I think I want this guy right along the bottom. Let's just see if I've got my little snips here. And up and around. Just a bit of collage now of some beautiful old fabrics. Can go there. Let's give this a bit of a tear. I kind of downsize everything a bit, hey? Oh, that. Look how nice that is. I got a bit carried away though, I pulled it a bit hard. And that's going to go there, you're going to go in there, buddy, like that. I think I'm going to do a bit of actual stitching on this one. See, I thought I might use something like this for the stamp and just stitch around it to make the stamp, if you know what I mean. So it's actually going to be styled like an envelope. Him up there, and then I'll stitch around him. I might even see if I can add some, just had an idea, hold on, some teeny tiny, you know, like this sort of cut work around to make it look like a stamp. That might even be perfect. Look at that. Let's just cut you off just above there, I think. Oh, there's my phone. Just gonna have to let that ring for a minute. Alright, I'm going to pop off for a minute and come back to you. I've got to answer my husband. He's lost on the way home.